Bill Henshall here again, Constitutional Crisis Channel, Return from the Dead Part 3. And this will concentrate on my journey across the country, and it was some journey. It took 32 days, 3 federal military airplanes, and 7 different jails. So I got arrested out here, went to my regular library, sat down, typed in my email account, and bang, 4 goons come from next door at the sheriff's department and take me and arrest me, and take me down to the county seat, Redwood City. And I sat there and actually had a hearing the ensuing Monday, 48 hours later, which would have been good, except it was only a 1-minute hearing. Because I stood up and announced myself while I'm manacled hand and foot as being there in proprius personas sui juris, and the judge cut the hearing off. Didn't want to hear it. As you're going to learn, there's a very good reason why he didn't want to hear that, and in future videos we'll be taking a long look at it. So I had another hearing on the 21st, and there'll be a separate video or 2 on this one. It's a beaut, including ineffective assistance of counsel. And I got extradited to South Carolina. Go figure. So I ended up after that over in Alameda County at the Santa Rita Hilton out there in Pleasanton. And I was there for a couple of weeks, I think. And they took me over to the Travis Air Force Base to get on a federal military airplane. And here I am, ostensibly in state custody, but I'm on a federal military aircraft. You're going to find out the reasons for that in future videos. The good news and bad news at one and the same time for all of us is that the goons confiscated all of my materials, including my legal documents. These are federal marshals doing this, not to be confused with Matt Dillon. And I had handwritten legal documents I would have had with me in South Carolina, but for that unlawful intervention. And you're going to see how good that's going to turn out to be for us later. Ended up going from there. We had a brief stop over at Boise. Never got off the plane, so no big deal. Ended up flying down to Las Vegas, Nevada. The jail's there in a little town called Pahrump. And that turned out to be a publicly run facility by the government. And it turned out to be the best place I was in, both in terms of the food they served and the amount I was able to do there, especially with legal research, where I was able to get up to 3 hours a day on a pretty decent computer, not internet, mind you, but I could do much more there than I could end up doing anywhere else. So from there, we ended up going down to Oklahoma City, and I thought I was going to be there for a while. I wasn't. That was another stopover, just a few hours. And I got on yet another federal military airplane and ended up in Atlanta, Georgia. And I don't know why we went there, but it got stranger. I got put on a separate bus because they had a bus there full of prisoners going to where I was going, Columbia. But I got on a bus with 3 other prisoners, and all of them got released from federal custody during the course of the trip. And I thought I was going to be released too, because they were dragging their feet at every step of the way to get me in South Carolina, and I now know why. Nevertheless, that didn't happen. I spent 10 days to 2 weeks in Osceola, Georgia, which is right on the Florida border. And it was so bad there, the bastards managed to screw up a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And I said to them, somewhat tongue-in-cheek, that when I get back here, that Jimmy Carter is going to get a letter from me about this, the peanut farmer from Georgia. And he is going to hear about this in more ways than one. Well, finally, on March 2nd, I arrived in South Carolina. And the bastard that wrote the perjured affidavit in support of the void warrant greeted me there at the jail and said, "Welcome to South Carolina," and drove me a short distance to where I stayed later in a private facility not run by the government. And if I ever get him out here in a trial, which I think is unlikely to happen, and I'll talk more about that later, I get him on the stand, I'm going to say, "Welcome to California, where we adhere to the Constitution and we don't act in contravention of it." And we'll see how you like it, because you're the one that's going to go to jail now, and we're going to hold you here lawfully, not like what you did to me. So the whole trip, 32 days, my God, I could almost have walked. And the last I'd heard when they released me from South Carolina is I may actually get a bill from the U.S. Marshals for $6,000 travel expenses. Hell, I could have rode first class on a damn airplane for a lot less than that. I haven't gotten the bill yet, but you're going to love it if I do, because I'm going to put a copy of the reply I send to them on the website, and you read this. It's going to be, at one time, funny and serious, but my God, they have the nerve to bill me for services, and I have yet to sign an agreement? Weird. So the whole thing was. Nevertheless, things are still in the works about this, and I will update you on what goes on here with the case that's going to be now ready to file, if I need to file one, and you're going to love every bit of it. By the way, the good news, as I said, about them confiscating my paperwork was on March 2nd, I had a quote-unquote bond hearing, which kind of doubles as an arraignment in South Carolina, although they don't call it that. And if I would have had my paperwork there and then, and I should have had it, I would have stopped in cold, and probably I would have been home by mid-March, not August. It's a big deal difference, and you're going to learn how to deal with all this. You're going to have documents that I'll make available to you that'll take care of business early on and get you the hell out of there, because they're not going to want to deal with you if you raise the issues that I raise. You're absolutely going to love it. See you next time.